Hey guys, this is Walt here, starting a new playthrough of Monster Hunter World 3rd. Now, the Monster Hunter series is easily one of my favorite series of all time, if not my favorite. And Portable Third is an interesting game for me, since this is like the only one of the PSP games that I've actually played. Have not actually gone back and played anything before this game, really, aside from Monster Hunter Tri, which was on the Wii. Um, Other than that, start off the game, you just kind of make your own character. It's honestly very bare bones, like, and you're not gonna see this stuff, like, after, like, the first, I don't know, 5 minutes of the game. Ooh, is that a Pompadour? Ooh, that is a Pompadour. Yeah. Let's make it purple. Because why not? Let's have a purple Pompadour. Truly the best color. Actually, should I make a dark purple? I should make a dark purple. Dark purple is a good color. Let's have no green. A bit more blue, a little less red. Ah, shit. Whoops. I guess it's gonna be brown. It's not like we'll see it. I guess face is fine. Look kind of angry. Oh, no, no, no. Not used to the controls. Ooh, I like this voice. It's a little ridiculous. I feel like that's fine, though. It's not like we'll really be able to see him that much after the first 5 minutes or so. Start with the tutorial? Probably a good idea. Let's make the character. Ignore that first save slot. That's nothing. Uh, oh yeah, bring it, boy. I swear, I always forget how cutscene heavy this game is at first. Honestly. Monster Hunter games don't usually have much of a story, so... it's often ignored just because it's usually like, oh, you're a hunter. What do you do as a hunter? Well, you hunt monsters. And there's a monster affecting the town. But you know, probably just gonna ignore most of the story, but I will respect the cutscenes, at least. Let's see. Yeah, go talk to village chief. Just, yeah. Just take a nice little bath here. And let's get our clothes on, and as you can tell, or can't tell, that character creation we did about 3 or 4 minutes ago doesn't even matter because you can't see any of that, other than the fact that we are male. This here is Yukima Village. It is your hometown in this game. This will be where you'll be spending a lot of time doing the more calming features of the game, like looking at armor, equipment, buying items, farming items, but we'll get to the farm later. It's kind of a relaxing place. Personally, I really like this town. It's always a nice place to just kind of relax, and the music here is also really relaxing. As you can probably hear. Anyway, let's see what she wants. This is the village chieftain. Small talk, don't mind her. I mean, if you really want to see all the text of the game, you can always just pause the video. But the majority of it is unimportant. She just wants us to go over here to visit the training school. And the problem with this place is that, oh wow, it is actually in English. Yeah, this is... Shit. I can't escape. Yeah, I'm done training. I'm an expert hunter now. Woo. So I guess over here is like the tutorial area. I'm not sure if you get Portable Third with the English patch that it's been translated, because certain parts of the game have not been translated for the English patch. For some reason, it dumped us off at home. And we were drunk and just got dumped off here. Anyway, this is where we can change our equipment and save the game using the bed. Among other things that we'll get to later. But for now, we'll just talk to everyone that has a yellow bubble above their heads, because that's what the game wants us to do. How'd you find beginner's practice? It was so good, ended in like 10 seconds. Honestly, the tutorial in Monster Hunter, at least earlier games, it's pretty bad, honestly. You'd have more like consulting like a veteran of the series, or yeah, consulting a veteran of the series. I think it wasn't until like World, which as of the time of recording the video, I am not played World yet because I do not have a PlayStation 4, waiting for that PC release. So I don't know how the tutorial is for that, but I do know that that game does actually teach you how to play. Unlike this game, so I guess that'll become my job to give a brief tutorial, as the game just doesn't really say how to do anything. Like, you can mash buttons to find out the controls at least, but how do you hunt monsters? The game doesn't tell you hardly anything for that. Now this lady right here sells felines, which are kind of your comrades. And as a single player, like if you're playing by yourself, you can have a cat or two come with you to help fight things, really. You can, she's explaining, you can buy up to 25 of them, but you can only have 2 of them on a quest at any time. Felines all have their own personality and their own things that they like to do and things they don't want to do. It's all really, it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't see myself using them, at least not for on quests. They will have a purpose later though, so I might want to hire a couple. Obviously we want the rock. You cannot change that name. It's too perfect. And I go for Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy. What's he doing here? And of course, a lion. Okay, that got pricey. Jesus. Okay. I guess the first 2 cats are free, and then the rest start costing you money. Well, there goes my entire budget. Woo! Let's see, this here is the item shop. She'll sell you quite a few useful items. A lot of useful items. We'll get into these later. Honestly, because there's so much to this game I can't possibly explain it all in a brief manner. This here is the equipment shop. You won't go here pretty much ever, but she sells equipment. It's kind of self-explanatory. However, if it's an equipment shop, why won't you go to it? Because there's a smithy right here, and blacksmith is pretty much better in every way. Blacksmith does the same thing the weapon shop does, allows you to get weapons and armor. However, the weapons and armor cost less, but they do cost materials. But it's more efficient money-wise, and the equipment shop will not sell any good weapons. They just sell like base level weapons for you to upgrade. Something I should mention is that there are 12 weapon types in this game, all of them with their own unique experiences with combat. They have 9 melee weapons and 3 ranged weapons. For this playthrough, I'll be mainly using the hammer, but I may diverge to other weapons for certain reasons that I'll get to eventually. This cat right here is the Palico blacksmith, or feline blacksmith, excuse me. They're not called Palicos in this game. Basically, this is a specialist blacksmith that makes stuff for your cats and nothing for you. Uses scraps which come from, I believe, making equipment in the regular blacksmith, or you can just create scraps from monster parts, but we'll worry about that later, if I even bother with cats. This person right here, I believe, is the person that manages the farm. Yeah, it's the manager. Basically, this guy you want to talk to if you want to upgrade your farm using Yukumo points, which you get from gaining certain items during quests. You'll just build this up as you play through the game. This is also where your cats go to just kind of chill. You can manage your cats here. However, I probably will not cover cats at all, as I do not plan on using any of them. So that's that. And I'm going to do myself a favor and go into the equipment box and actually equip a hammer, because it's bothering me that I'm not having a hammer on my back. Because I plan on using hammers for this playthrough. I don't really plan on using many other weapon types. Let's see if you even can go in here yet. I think you can. So the village, where I just was the offline part of the game, single player portion. And this portion of the game is the online portion, the multiplayer part. Basically, Monster Hunter Portable Third is divided up into 2 campaigns, a single player campaign and a multiplayer campaign. The multiplayer campaign can be played through solo, but it is harder than the single player campaign, as the monsters will have more health. It is entirely possible to do this, and if you want to reach the final monsters of the game, you will have to basically go through the multiplayer campaign, as the single player campaign ends about halfway through the game. There's so much information to go over. I always forget how much stuff there is at the beginning of the game. Just catching my breath here. Whew. So the hot spring here that we kind of just set up from, you'll be visiting this between every quest, at least later in the game. Maybe not right away, as it's the basic hot spring. As you can see at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, status has a health as 100 and stamina as 100. those are your default stats, so there's not much reason to come here immediately, but there will be reason to come here soon enough. This cat right here will sell you drinks. These drinks will give you bonuses upon drinking them. Well, not have any. Okay, he does. Okay, whoo, oof. I wasn't about to explain something too soon. Anyway, this guy sells drinks for money that give you some skills, some little buffs for one quest, and they're useful. Not as useful as the hot spring itself, but we'll get into. Well, you'll see why the hot spring is really good later on. Now, this cat you need to talk to upgrade your hot spring. This cat will have many quests to upgrade your hot spring and unlock more drinks. So this is like the one quest that's available to us, so I will end up doing this eventually. Not right away though. I do recommend doing this as soon as you can though, typically. Might get a good bonus out of the hot spring. This here's the Guildmaster. He's pretty useless. You just have to talk to him. He explains low rank and high rank. It's just the natural progression of the game. We'll go over that. For the online portion, this lady here is the low rank quest lady, which is where we'll be for quite a while. Blah blah blah. This is how quests work. Just host them and go on them. This person here, you can't do anything with her yet, as this is a high rank and we'll be there in like 40 hours. This girl is the item shop, and this chest is similar to the chest that's in your house, but you cannot change equipment here. It's kind of annoying having to go back to your house from here to change equipment, but kind of get used to it after a while. Also, a neat shortcut to your house is to the left here. You can just take this straight to your house. Now, I don't want to end off the first episode without a little bit of action, so let's start off the game with one of these one-star quests. You have so many options, like gather mushrooms, deliver what is essentially deer antlers. Ooh. Slay 5 Jaggy. Ooh, you can kill stuff. Ooh. It's almost like that's the name of the game. It's to hunt some monsters. You can slay 3 Bullfangos, which is a smaller version of that quest that was in the hot springs. Or you could deliver 5 honey. Yay. I think I fancy myself killing 5 little raptor things. So you talk to her, get a quest, and you'll want to go over here to go on the quest. Now, I've forgotten a guy. This guy right here is like a secondary item shop. He sells various items. I think his inventory changes out every now and then, but he has some good stuff. I definitely recommend checking him out from time to time. Speaking of which, I'm going to just go ahead and buy one of these two right now before I forget. Those are useful items later on. And I always struggle finding them in the game. And once you find one, you can start farming it, so it's a lot harder to lose track of it. Anyway, let's head off on our first quest. To take down some Jaggies. Anyway, welcome to the Misty Peaks. That stuff's in my inventory. Oops. Anyway, so as soon as you load into a quest, what you want to do is go to this blue box right here. Guild, whoever sends you on this quest, supplies you with many useful items, such as a map, first aid med, which will heal you, Some rations, which will feed you and increase your stamina. Mini whetstones, which will sharpen your weapon. Which, you know, that brings up a good question since I'm using a hammer, but I need sharpened hammers. You have to sharpen hammers. It just works, okay? If you ever have items you need to deliver, this red box is where you'll want to do it at. And this bed right here is basically a free heal. It doesn't cost you anything but your time of coming here and just laying down and resting. Something you'll see me do quite often is open up the item menu, go to items, and then sort this. It's just out of habit. I apologize if it gets annoying at some point. It'll happen. So, let's just explore the hunting grounds. So these raptors here is our quest objective. So we just need to pound it a few times. And boom, it's dead. Of course, naturally, since you're hunting these things, you'll want to obtain their materials. Another important thing to do in this game is to gather. So mushrooms are useful. Unique mushrooms, this will be important for that one mushroom quest. Blue mushrooms are probably the most important mushroom in the game. Blue mushrooms are the most blue. Oh, I can't even speak anymore. God, too much information. Blue mushrooms are the most important blue mushrooms in the game. Yeah, right. Obviously. Anyway. Them combined with like an herb makes a potion, which you'll be making lots of if you want to get far in this game. Of course, there's a lot of other like items that are useful sparingly. I honestly I know a lot of these herbs are useful, but a lot of them don't really do much for me in particular. Like I feel like these snow herbs are used to combine with certain items to make special ammo, but since I'm not using a ranged weapon, it's not useful for me. Like the main herb that we're looking for is just an herb. I believe these are just berries. Yeah, these are berries. Look like pine cones though. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. I swear, there is hunting in this game. Like, it's just, it takes a while for Monster Hunter to really get going. But once it does, it's an amazing game. I definitely recommend you try it out. And if you have a PS4, definitely pick up Monster Hunter World. It looks amazing. If you don't have a PS4, if you have like a 3DS, you can get Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, which is probably the best Monster Hunter, well, was the best Monster Hunter game to get into the series with until World came out. I really wish I had some herbs. Like some regular herbs. Because then I could explain what honey does, but we'll get to that when we get to it, I suppose. Also, I apologize for these early videos since it'll be information overload. There's no way I can avoid it. With a game as deep as Monster Hunter, explaining all the mechanics is gonna take quite some time. More so than probably any other game, especially since I have spent way too much time on this series, so I pretty much know too much. Really? No herbs still? I'm like relying on getting herbs to explain like basic item crafting. Game, please. And honestly, gathering can be kind of peaceful sometimes. You just calmly gather a lot of items. Oh, also we got an herb. Yeah, I can finally explain what herbs do. Let's get nope. I can't get another one. Now, there's a special tidbit for gathering that you may have seen me do. Is that I crouch before gathering? Crouching before gathering up until, I believe, Monster Hunter Generations actually allows you to gather faster. So, it'll save you time, especially since you'll be gathering so many materials, as you can see early on. It takes so long for the game to start up. So you just have to get basic materials. There's no way you can avoid it. And honestly, I'm thinking about skipping a lot of the early game quests just because you could find out, like, oh, how to get X item from this place by just searching it on Google. But because honestly, I don't think you guys want to see me gather for like 5 hours. So it's kind of boring. Also, what I'm attacking right now is an art quest objective. It's a little confusing because they look similar, but there's a difference. Also, you may have noticed that my sharpness went down. Basically, sharpness is a game mechanic where, as you use, it's only for melee weapons, but as you actually hit things with your weapon, kind of wear down your weapon's sharpness, and when it does decrease, you will start doing less damage, and some monsters, like actual hide, might be too tough for your weapon to pierce. I know this makes no sense since I'm using a blunt weapon, but it just works. I wouldn't question. Also, that corpse went flying. Goddamn. Oh wow, what a beautiful corpse. Let's go carve it. Well, we'll get into combining, I guess, in a later episode. I don't want to make this episode go on for too long. It's probably gone on long enough as is. But we've got a lot done this episode. That's always a good thing, honestly. And good thing to do when you finish quests, especially early on, is just gather, honestly. And this might be where I just gather. I may not gather during the actual quests. All this useful stuff. So at the end of each quest, you will get some extra items. Pretty much every time you want to send to item box, taking your reward just puts it in your item patch, which can get full, and ending just sells everything. So definitely click on the send to item box and go through each one of these items. Some basic crafting materials, honestly, to make better equipment. Each quest will reward you with money, so there's no real need to worry about wasting all of that village elder's cash that she gave you, but yeah, it's always useful. I believe you also get Yukima points for completing quests. Your farm would be happy about that. Anyway, I think this is where I want to end off the episode. So, join me next time as we continue explaining the basic mechanics of the game. Have a good day, guys. Later.